do I start? You're going down a very dangerous road. And we ain't been down dangerous roads before.
My name is Tara Hitchcock. I work with Harkins Theaters, the largest independently owned theater chain in the US. It's also where moviegoers will get 2 De Niros for the price of 1 De Niro. Congratulations on all of that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because you're going to take us all down. This is not the way.
Mr. Winkler, I want to start with you. I know it was your idea to get to Robert De Niro's. Did you ever discuss maybe playing a 3rd or 4th character while he's at it?
Well, I don't know. He probably could if we asked him. But no, what happened was I gave Bob the script and he liked it. And his initial instinct was to play Frank Costello. And then he asked me, who do you think could play Vito Genovese? And, you know, if he had read the script and said he wanted to play Vito Genovese, who do I think would play Frank Costello? I probably would have come up with the same answer. You can play both roles. If he had said, I'm going to play Vito, who do you want to play Frank Costello? It would have been the same answer.
Well, I have to tell you, it was super cool, especially that first time that you see them acting opposite each other. Mr. De Niro, the first time you saw that, was it super cool or was it unnerving in any way?
No, I was worried about if it was going to work. And so Barry, after we did the scene, both parts, then Barry I looked at the dailies of both, you know, sure. But then he assembled it just quickly to see if it's working. And I said, gee, it's pretty good. I'm happy. It's not disastrous.
Not only was it not disastrous, you did such a great job of really capitalizing on the differences between the two, not just in how you looked, not just in how you talked, but I'm curious, Mr. De Niro, what was the subtlest difference that you were proud of incorporating into your performance between the two?
Well, it's so subtle, you didn't even notice it, so it doesn't matter.
Tell us what it is.
No, I'm kidding.
It was that good.
I can't think.
Yeah,
there were things, but I can't. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired now. So.
But for me, I'll tell you what I thought. I thought the scene with basically his wife, when they're talking about his relationship with Frank over at a table in a nightclub, was very meaningful because you realize that there was a humanity amongst these men that you don't see ordinarily, that they very much care for each other, but they're also very much about where they are in the situation. Like he says later on,
You're a racketeer. You're a gangster. Come on. All of a sudden, you want to be half in, half out, half a racketeer.
I'm a gangster. Vito, I'm a gangster. That's what I am. Where Frank is very much the politician, as Bob said, he thinks about things, he plans things out. And right through, every time you see the Vito character, even when they're pulling into Appalachia, he says, pull the car in there, that's going to fall, it's going to get caught in the mud, do this, do that.
The Vito character.
Yeah. So Vito is very, very impetuous, we might say. Yeah.
I think if you mean the scene in the restaurant, the Italian restaurant.
Yeah, that's
Kathy,
true, yeah.
Where Vito is explaining Frank and his wife and the relationship and how he was when they were kids and that. Yeah.
It's a big mistake. Look, you do what you want. You want to be a diplomat, that's your business. Me, I'm a gangster.
Yeah.
Well, you both did such a great job. I like to think I'm a little diplomat and a little gangster. I don't know about you. Where do you stand? More diplomat, more gangster?
I think I think of myself more toward the Costello character.
Okay. Mr. Winkler?
I kind of like Vito. I think he's kind of really funny, interesting. You know, it's very interesting because the beginning of the film starts with somebody trying to murder Frank Costello. And yet Vito, who obviously is ordering the murder, you don't, at least I, as a viewer, don't feel bad about Vito. I don't think of him as this terrible killer, and yet he just ordered the killing. When we did Goodfellas together, I think that's the same thing. The first half hour of Goodfellas, you kind of like everybody no matter what they do, until, of course, Joe Pesci shoots Spider.
Yeah, it changes there.
Wait a minute, they're not so much fun. Yeah. But I think, in spite of the fact that it opens with the shooting of Costello, kind of want to hang out with these guys.
100%. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're coming off the premiere. Thank you. I really appreciate it. What an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Doc. Thank you.
Why don't you come here?
Congratulations on this. I read that you read at least 7 books on just Frank alone to prepare for this. Do you ever get to a point where it's almost too much research, or did you find that all of it was helpful in uncovering Bobby?
Everything I found was helpful, because there was so much material, and you know, different people had different perspectives, but
Yep.
you know, I was able to find through Facebook her nephew and was able to communicate with him and get, you know, stories about their lives together, about their marriage. And I found one of her best friends in New Jersey. She was much younger than
Wow.
Bobby. So there was a lot of fertility in terms of material. And I always think that the more the better, because you do your work and then when you get on set, you forget it all and it's just in you.
What was the thing that was really the key? Because you have to establish this really respectful partnership at the end of the day fairly quickly and in not a ton of scenes. What was the key, do you think, to unlocking her?
You know, I think when she wipes his blood off
Up the
of
mirror.
the mirror
Yeah.
in the very beginning, and you see her literally just cleaning up his blood, but doing it with dignity and keeping composed. I think that said it all. And then he comes home and she's there with his drink, takes his hat, and immediately says, I think we should get out of here.
Yeah. That was an amazing scene. That actually, yeah, that said a lot right there. You know, everyone's talking about the fact that you get 2 Robert De Niro's playing opposite each other, but you also get 2 of Robert De Niro's dogs. And you look in the stuff that we saw as if they just warmed up to you instantly. Was it an instant connection with his pups?
You know what? It was love at first sight.
Yeah.
Those puppies, they came on set, and when I found out they were Bob's, I just thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. And he loves them, and they love him, and it just made sense to me story-wise because Bobby and Frank couldn't have children, and it was the one regret of Frank's life, and so it made sense that they would have dogs that were their children, and so when I had a scene by myself, I was like, she would have her kids with her. And so I asked Bob, you know, can I have your dogs? And he was like, you want my dogs? I was like, yeah. He goes, oh, okay. So the dogs got a much bigger role than was intended. But I reunited with them last night on the red carpet. And yeah, you know, I'm a dog lover.
How are you not the go-to sitter now if they ever take vacations?
You know what? I will let them know that I am available. I have a dog about the same size as their 2, so we could have a little puppy play date.
You're more fly off the handle.
You know, this is one of those characters, I'll be honest, I did not know much about. So after the film, I started to do a little research. She was a force.
Yes.
How much did you know about her?
I really didn't know too much until I started really diving in and doing the research. I found her so fascinating and funny, feisty, courageous, fearless. Like, she was a great character to play. I had a lot of fun with it. And I love the dynamic that me and Bobby was so opposite, right?
Yeah.
De Niro being married to, as De Niro, Vito, and then Frank married to Bobby. We were so opposite.
Yeah.
In fact, I realized something last night. Bobby was exactly like Frank, and Anna was exactly like Vito.
Yeah. Yeah. I know they almost married their counterparts. I was thinking the
Yes.
same thing.
That's funny, yeah.
You know, Deborah said that she read 7 books on just Frank alone. When you're doing research for somebody like this, can there ever get a point to where maybe too much research, you know, you have to just put it down and go, now I'm overdoing it?
I think that's a good question. For an actor, yeah, I think it could. I think the rest you have to just really follow your instincts. You got it. You got the gist of it. You're never gonna do anybody to the exact T unless you're doing a biography of someone's life, like Timothy Chalamet just did. You know,
Right,
Bob
Bob
Dylan.
Dylan.
Like
Sure.
that's a whole thing just on that. So you would go a little deeper, a lot deeper and more. But I mean, I think there is too much, but I think the rest you have to leave up to your instincts and add a lot of yourself.
Let's remember something. I put you where you are today. It's because of me, Mr. Good Citizen.
I've been fortunate enough to have interviewed him a few times in person, another time in Zoom. And I am never not sweating bullets being in his presence, whether it's via a computer or sitting across a hotel
Wow.
room. When do you get past the whole, this is Robert De Niro and he's just this nice, playful man?
I mean, I think once you get to really know him on a behind the scenes personal level, I think you realize that, I don't know, I feel like sometimes people that come off as like standoffish are really in their core shy people. He's the best. He's funny. He's so funny to do a red carpet with. Really, he really is. He's funny. There's nothing bad I could ever say about that man. I think he's the greatest.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. I'm still going to sweat though when I talk to him in about 30 minutes. So
I
Catherine,
think it's more his talent. Maybe his talent intimidates you.
perhaps
It's
it's also that
the
it's
scope
also
of his movies.
yes, it's also that cold stare he gives when he's just hanging out waiting for the next question. So
Yeah.
I need to warm him up.
How do you know what he's gonna do?
Ooh, Lord, ain't my trouble so hard.